What's up, guys? Iceman here. So in this video, we're going to go over the rune word infinity in Diablo 2 Resurrected specifically. Infinity is probably one of the most desired items in all of Diablo 2. I remember back in the day when I was little duckbill, this was the go-to item right next to Enigma. Enigma was very convenient in the fact that it gave all characters teleport and various other very helpful mods. However, Infinity was perhaps the one that more so helped change things in terms of your ability to go to different areas and kill different shit. Because of course it has the conviction aura. So if you began with a lightning character, there were many enemies that you had to skip. Many enemies that you just had to somehow bypass or have one of your homies help you kill. However, once you got Infinity, you were able to break most of those lightning immunes. You're able to kill the light immunes that are in the Chaos Sanctuary. You're able to break the light immunes that are in the pit and other areas throughout the game. Most light immunes will be broken by Infinity, however not all. Because it is a level 12 conviction, mind you. So check this out. Let's see it in action a second with the Mercenary. Now, it doesn't break all immunities, however. Like, you're going to see some monsters right here, they're cold immune. And when the aura is applied to them, as you can see, it doesn't break their immunity. So that's something to keep in mind. In fact, to my understanding, it breaks very few cold immunes throughout the game. And very few fire immunes as well. However, there are some fire immunes that it does break. One that can be noted would be the Doom Knights in the Chaos Sanctuary who are immune to fire. Infinity is able to break their fire immunity to where you can then kill them with fire. However, it's important to note that when you do break an immunity, they're still highly resistant to that element. So you really have to work toward piercing their resistance as well by getting facets on your character or other gear that pierces so-and-so elemental resistance. Infinity actually has one of those mods embedded on it. However, it only applies to the enemies that are getting hit or damaged by the one who is wielding the Infinity. Alright? So it pierces their lightning res by 54%. The vast majority of your damage, of course, in general, when using Infinity on a mercenary is from yourself or from your character, from your Javazan in some examples. So 95% of the enemies you kill are by your Amazon, in which case this piercing of their light res is going to be completely useless. It's nice to have it, because your mercenary does a little bit more damage and his chain lightning is enhanced by that he casts when he does kill an enemy. 50% of the time. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's there, but it's important to know that that doesn't affect the lightning damage that your character is emitting, assuming your character is not wielding an Infinity. Fuck. Necromancer died. There are some builds that wield Infinity. You can make a sorceress that wields an Infinity. Now, some would argue it's not a good way to go. But you can do a lot of damage, and not only are you putting the conviction aura on the enemies around you, but you're also piercing the shit out of their lightning resistance. Or fire resistance, or cold resistance. So that's something to consider. But let's check out the Ariat Summit website and see what a level 12 conviction actually does. And what a level 20 chain lightning does. Alright? So I have this stuff pulled up right here. Here's Infinity. 4-socketed polearms. Any 4-socketed polearms. Of course, it's important to try to make one in an ethereal base, so it does a lot more damage. 50% more. Ber+Mal+Ber+Ist. Very expensive expensive as fuck to make. And here are the stats once again. So let's look into this. There's a level 12 conviction. Let's see what that does. So all conviction in Diablo 2 from level 1 to 20 and beyond has a 13.3 yard radius. We'll take a look-see in just a moment to see what that actually looks like in game. 13.3 yards. So Infinity always rolls level 12 conviction on it, right? So we're right down here. So, in terms of it, piercing elemental resistance. Now this only applies to cold, fire, and lightning. It doesn't apply to magic or poison, alright? Because those aren't really elements, according to Diablo 2. So, it pierces them at level 12 by 85%. Now, to my understanding, it's only 1/5 effective when breaking an immune, alright? So, if there's an enemy that has 120 lightning immunity, it's not going to take them like way down to 60 lightning immune or whatever that number would be. Alright, it's just, it's only going to be 1/5 effective. So, that's like only 20%. In addition, it's piercing it after breaking it. Alright, it's only piercing it by an additional 20% or something like that. So that's really important to keep in mind, which is why I mention that you have to stack like facets or whatever else you get your paws on that pierce said resistance that you're trying to pierce. You know, you have to get that shit on your character's gear if you're having trouble after even breaking an immunity. Yeah, dog, that's pretty damn decent. 85 at level 12, that's quite nice. And as you can see, it goes up level 20, it's 125. Looks like it gives about 5% increments per level. Now, another thing that is not as commonly known about Infinity or Conviction is the fact that it actually pierces enemy defense. Alright? So, you'll have a greater chance of hitting the enemies, and so will your minions if you pierce their defense. And in this case, level 12, it pierces their defense by 83%. Holy shit. And that's a lot. And that's why you'll see summon necromancers wielding Infinity on their mercenary. Because often your skeletons don't hit shit. And I have mine right here, so I'll showcase them in just a minute. So many would argue that Infinity is actually the best polearm to have on your active mercenary for a necromancer, a summon necro / corpse explosion necromancer. Because pride is nice, of course, but one, it freezes targets, so you might break the corpse when your merc kills it to where you can't then explode it or summon from it. But of course, it has the nice concentration aura. But if you're a corpse explosion necromancer, most of your kills are coming from your corpse explosion. So you really just need to get one kill in there so you can start popping the shit out of all the corpses. Yeah, let me show you this stuff in action just a minute here. Chain lightning. So a level 20 chain lightning. Shitty damage. Alright, 1 to 281. So in hell, especially considering how they have a high lightning res, of course it's being broken by Infinity, but nonetheless they have a lot of HP, right? So it's not doing a lot of damage. But let's see how much damage it actually does. I'll go to some place with weaker enemies. Like the little Fallens, alright? We'll take a look at some of the weakest enemies in the game. Or these women, I guess, who are cold immune. Oh, and it breaks their cold immune. That's important. But now we're kind of getting a visualization of what 13.3 yards looks like in Diablo 2. There's the chain lightning, and it hit that enemy. And you could kind of see it go into effect there. The lightning damage, of course, it has such a vast range. You'll have to kill a lot of enemies to get sort of an average in mind. We'll go down to the cave. Maybe there'll be some weaker enemies down here. Hell yeah. But see that? 13.3 yards, so quite nice. It's a good amount, good amount of space there. There's a chain lightning cast. Yeah, the Merc does decent damage with it. 2,500. Unfortunately, this character doesn't teleport. I don't think I have... No, I don't have a handout Enigma anywhere on D2R. So here we have some lightning immunes, and it'll probably break their lightning immune. Yep. There's the chain lightning going off. It hit this guy. Barely did shit to him. Merc's about to die. Shit. Alright, Merc died. But yeah, there you have it. Infinity, the rune word. Kind of a profile and abilities regarding it. Makes your mercenary run a little faster, 35% faster run walk. Very nice damage, actually. Like I said, it pierces their lightning res. That only applies to the enemies who are damaged by the one wielding Infinity. Very nice crushing blow, so that's very helpful when you're fighting bosses. So 40% is a damn good number. Prevent monster heal, which can be quite helpful as well. Vitality, unfortunately, that doesn't do shit for your mercenary. See that? 1727 health. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Vitality doesn't do anything for your mercenary. The Magic Find does. It helps your mercenary. Any enemies that he kills, it'll add to your Magic Find, and that'll be the Magic Find applied to the enemy killed then. Only to the ones that your mercenary kills will his Magic Find then be added to yours, okay? And of course, he can't cast the Cyclone Armor, because you have to actively cast that. But there you have it, dog. What do you guys think about Infinity? Let me know in the comments below. Very nice item, often used on Lightning Sorceresses, often used on Javazans, often used on Fire Sorks. In some examples, Cold Sorks, even though Blizzard and Frozen Orb Sorks generally probably use an Insight, because you just get that massive mana pool that constantly replenishes. But in some instances, if you're a pure damage-seeking Cold Sork, you will use Infinity over Insight. I think the reason they commonly don't is, as mentioned, it doesn't break very many cold immunes in the game anyway. And with a Cold Sorceress, you already have your Cold Mastery, which pierces enemy cold resistance. Now Fire and Lightning Mastery don't work in that way. They just enhance your Fire and Lightning damage. So you're already piercing the shit out of their cold res. Piercing it more is nice. However, there is a bottom end cap, I believe. But you're already piercing the hell out of it anyway. So it's a little less desirable to use on a Cold Sorceress for those reasons, or a cold character at all for that matter. Now, Necromancer, it's great to use on as well. As mentioned, it pierces the enemy defense to where your summons are going to hit them a lot more. Also, your Corpse Explosion is half fire damage. So, in some cases, your Infinity will break fire immunes, like the Doom Knights in the Chaos Sanctuary, for example. And in all other cases, where it doesn't need to break an immunity, it's simply going to pierce their fire resistance, so your Corpse Explosion, fire aspect of it anyway, is going to be doing even more damage to the enemies. Yeah, so basically, Infinity is toad as fuck, and that's the profile Iceboy has regarding Infinity for today. So if you guys will like the damn video, hit the thumbs up button, become a patron if you want. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me as you have. May your finances be blessed, and may you have many wives. Peace with you.